Okay, so now we've done superheroes and we're moving on from superheroes and underdog into types of content, or one type of content in particular, which has been hugely, hugely popular in 2015 for lots of reasons, and we're going to go over the reasons why it's popular. Does anyone want to have hazard a guess as to what was popular in 2015 as a form of content? It was actually, although video was on the rise a lot, if you think about it, better for you to be doing infographics. Now, why is it better for you to be doing infographics as content over video? The reason being is that you can store those infographics on your website for them to download. They can download those infographics from you. Now, for them to go to your website to download the infographic, even if you don't ask for an address off them to get it, so even if you're not doing the, hey, get my infographic for free, if you just fill in all your personal data and we will then target the hell out of you with emails, even if you don't do that, you do still have tracking pixel on your website, or you should do, which means that you are then gathering their information into a custom audience for, guess what, Facebook advertising. So not only can you promote, post and boost certain content like get your infographic, but also you can, once they've got it, actually create them into a target custom audience of somebody who was interested in that particular infographic or that particular way to solve a problem, which means they must have the problem, or they were a competitor. The only other option is they're a competitor checking you out, and that will happen. So, and it's actually one of the research tools I tell you to use, so of course it will happen. So don't get offended when people are checking you out. Actually take it as a compliment. Take it as a compliment if people are keeping you in their sights, because it means you're a threat. We check out competition to look at their weaknesses so we can exploit them and to see how much of a threat they really are. But that was in the competition videos. Right, so infographics. Why were they so popular? Because most people are visual learners. There are three ways to learn: visually, auditory, so listening, and a lot of you like audible books, for example, and kinetic, which is movement, touching, creating. So you would maybe learn to drive through a kinetic process. Most people have a little bit of each type of learning style, but they lean towards a majority style. Now, strangely, I have three children, and each one leans towards a different style of learning. So the oldest is visual, the middle child is auditory, which also means that if there's noise in a classroom, she can't concentrate. So all that group team working, everyone talking at once, actually does not suit an auditory learner. And then my youngest is kinetic, and they're all got slight mild dyslexia, so all these things have been investigated properly, and the youngest is now allowed to move while she learns. She can't sit still. So to learn, she has to learn through creating it in front of her and being allowed to move around and not sit still, which sounds a bit ADD, but that's what they say. That's what they say. So she really struggles with things like spelling tests because that's a visual learning thing. It's very hard to learn to spell kinetically. So, why does infographics appeal? Well, it appeals because it gets a lot of information into one place. And remember what I said about people being in overwhelm with information. So all the answer is in one place, if you like. So it's easy to understand. You're not allowed to waffle on. It's in bullet points, key points, if you like. And it's visual. And the majority of people, are visual learners. So it highlights it in a visual manner for them to learn. Now, personally, I like the look of infographics. I do like the look of them, but it's not, even though I'm a visual learner, it wouldn't actually appeal to me as a learning style. But it is very popular and it does work, and it has those added advantages for you that they have to visit the website to get the free download. And then when they've got the free download, you've already then got their details for further pestering and chasing around the internet. And my God, I am chased around the internet all sorts of places at the moment. I go to use an app and I get an advert for actually Kevin Walker Hi, Kevin, if you're listening. You're turning up in one of my apps, my picture frame. So be pleased to hear, or not, because I'm not your ideal avatar, that your advertising's working. So that is why you would want, you can see, I mean, I've borrowed, copied, hacked, whatever you want to call it, an infographic from Wick Marketing to it, which explains why infographic works. So you can actually look through those details, or maybe have been looking through those details while I've been talking away, to see what it is about infographics that makes them so special for people and why you should consider doing them. Now, to get your infographics done, yes, there are apps available where you can do your own infographics, but I just have to say to you, is it worth spending several hours to get one infographic done when you can send it to someone on Fiverr, which means $5 US, which is £3.50 roughly UK, to get it done? And no, it won't necessarily be perfect, but think of the amount of time it's just saved you. I say this to people all the time. They go, oh, can you recommend anyone on Fiverr for my logo? Because I've had some really duff ones. Well, it's £3.50. You can afford, hopefully, to commission 10 different people on Fiverr, all at the same time, and then work with the one who gets the concept the best. Surely. Maybe. Because that's going to cost you all of £30 or £35, and then take it from there. Because I've paid a lot more for logos in the past, like 350. Higher, I don't know, but a lot more than that. So 35 quid to get 10 different designers looking at your logo. And they do have their workbooks, so you can see the previous examples but just don't procrastinate and spend hours looking through their workbooks. It's just another time suck. Yeah. So use Fiverr, use these outsourcing facilities to help you create these content, or this type of content that's going to be really popular. You know, get this stockpile. You know, I was talking about in a previous video about grouping tasks together. Why not group together getting 10 different infographics done? So group together that as a task, so you get all the different ones that you want doing ready to go, and then send them all off to Fiverr. There's a good afternoon's work for you, because when they all come back, despite little maybe edits and changes, you've then got 10 pieces of content that you're going to give away to people, but means that you capture their details for further advertising, or you capture their email. So, you know, just think bigger. Think bigger. That's the message from today. And type of content, infographic. There you go.